Good morning, Mr. Jadala.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Were you ready with something, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. On Mrs. Bird, she's just asking for a pretrial, and Mr. Milsner, he will be pleading under 771.1.
If you give me 3 minutes, I'll be right back out for you.
Absolutely, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Marianne.
Good morning, Dave. How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's good to hear you. There are already some people. Everyone's been here early this morning. There's
All
some
right.
people in the waiting room. Yeah, that's a good indicator.
Okay, good. I see them there. Okay.
Hey, Dave, just a heads up on Bird. I'm just going to be asking for a pretrial. If you can give me some discovery whenever you get a
Yep.
chance, that'd be great.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
It says 2 minutes. 8:07. Here, take your phone. You have a good day. Let me know when you get there. I said, let me know when.
This is 202-840M. This is City of Romulus versus Shelley Bird. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richardala, P 62186, appearing on behalf of Mrs. Bird. Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Respectful request a pretrial in this matter. Ms. Bird, unmute yourself and say your name for the record.
Shelley Bird.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, the recommendation is for a cash bond of 10,000, 10%. What say you to that recommendation, sir?
Your Honor, my client is here today. I believe that, Your Honor, there was an error in why this matter is set for a show cause with court date. She is here. She'll continue to follow all orders of the court and appear in court as directed, Your Honor. We just respectfully request this be a personal bond.
Thank you. Ms. Byrd, do you have any reason to be in contact or communication with Frank Baker?
No.
The court will set your bond, ma'am, at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until this case is resolved in its entirety. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that being Frank Baker. And ma'am, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through social media, no contact through third persons. Should this court receive reports that you've made efforts to be in contact or communication with Mr. Baker, it could be viewed as a violation of the terms of your bond. Your bond could be revoked and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. Your pretrial date will be
May 9th at 8:50.
May 9th at 8:50. And notice will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning. Is there anything else in this case, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, you're free to go. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Hadley.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is 24RP001020M. This is City of Romulus versus Christopher Millisore. State your names for the record, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Milsner, Your Honor. Mr. Milsner, could you say your name for the record?
Christopher Malizer.
Malizer, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, for purposes
Mr. Jadala.
For purposes of today's
Sir.
arraignment, Your Honor, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Your Honor, Mr. Malizner will be pleading guilty to one charge of larceny under 771.1 for 12 months. Your Honor, understanding the rights that he is waiving by doing so, he wishes to avail himself to that plea.
Thank you. Mr. Millisore, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may put your hand down, sir. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your desire this morning to plead guilty as charged to larceny?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, Your Honor.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it true that on November 2nd, 2023, in the city of Romulus, you committed the act of larceny by depriving, let's see, S4 Sales LLC of property that it owned, that property having a value of $293?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the sole count of larceny in this matter as indicated by Mr. Jadala earlier. Since this matter will be delayed for a period of 12 months, sir, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan over these next 12 months. Pay the court cost of $300 and restitution in the amount of $293 to S4 Sales LLC, the victim in this case. The case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal.
Okay.
Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay those amounts? It'll be a total of $593.
Yes, I would need more than 5 days.
Okay, the court is able to apply the bond that you posted in this matter and then send this matter to collection. So sir, in the next 5 days, I need you to do one of three things. You can come into the court and set a payment plan. You can call and speak to the collections department and set a payment plan, or go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. If you click on that, it'll drop down. You can submit a request for a payment plan that way. But do one of those three things in the next 5 days, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go. You have a great day. Good luck to you.
You too.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Greco.
Morning, Your Honor. We're ready on Paul Borden.
I see him. I'm just waiting for him to come back into this main session.
I'm here, Your Honor.
This is 24RP018250M. This is City of Romulus versus Paul Borden. Sir, please state your name for me.
Paul Borden.
Mr. Borden, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Greco.
Yes.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Borden is going to plead guilty to retail fraud. We're going to do it pursuant to 771.1, which I've explained to him. I'm going to request that the probationary period be 6 months instead of our standard 12 months. I feel like Mr. Borden's been very upfront and forthright this morning. $12 restitution to the victim, and stay away from the Shell gas station.
Thank you. Mr. Borden, would you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
I do.
And after having that conversation with him, sir, you wish to plead guilty as charged to retail fraud.
I do.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I do.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
I am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on April the 3rd, 2024, you went into the Shell station located at 35335 Eureka in the city of Romulus, and you walked out of that location taking property that belonged to the Shell without making payment for it?
I do.
And that property had a value of $12.
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Borden, the court will accept your plea of guilty as charged to the retail fraud. As indicated by Mr. Greco, this sentence will be delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
Pay the court $200 in costs and $12 in restitution. The matter will be administratively reviewed for dismissal at the end of those 6 months. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that $212?
I do not.
Okay, so 5 days to pay, no new crimes for 6 months. Case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Borden?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, you're free to go. You have a great day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Take
welcome.
care, Mr. Borden.
Thank you, Mr. Del Greco.
Good morning, Carol.
Morning.
Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Higgins, you should be seeing an invitation to go into a breakout room. Please go there. Excuse me. Ugh. This is 24RP001020M. This is City of Romulus versus Dickerson. Sir, would you
Yes.
state your name for me, please?
Juan Rico Dickerson.
Mr. Dickerson, the way the court staff have you labeled indicate that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco, the prosecutor, this morning?
Yes.
Mr. Greco, how are we proceeding?
We have a resolution, Your Honor, where we are going to amend the charge of fighting to disorderly conduct or disorderly person pursuant to 771.1 for a period of 6 months with Mr. Dickinson understanding that he is trespassed and to stay away from the Romulus Athletic Center.
Thank you. Mr. Dickerson, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. May I put your hand down? Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Greco this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of disorderly person and the fighting charge will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
You're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Dickerson, is it true that on January 6, 2024, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person at the Romulus Athletic Center?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Dickerson, the court will accept your plea of guilty to the added count of being a disorderly person and dismiss that fighting charge. As indicated by Mr. Greco, this plea is taken pursuant to 771, and the sentence will be delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan during those 6 months. Pay the court $300 and remain trespass, meaning do not return to the Romulus Athletic Center. This case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that $300? We can apply the bond and you can pay the balance.
I can pay it now.
Okay. So 5 days to pay the balance. Is there anything else in this case, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Dickerson?
No, that'll be all.
Thank you, sir. You can either pay online or you can come in person and pay it, but other than that, you're free to go. You have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great one too.
Thank you.
You? Okay, I'll be back, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. So there's this woman on TikTok that does these pen reviews, pen writing utensils.
Oh.
And I'm convinced that I'm going to find a disposable, I think it's a Uniball of some sort. It's the never-ending battle to find one that writes smoothly over this blue paper. What?
Blue paper. It's different.
I feel like it is. It might be my imagination. Yeah. Listen, you have your rabbit hole, I have mine. Leave me alone. You laugh at me, but I know that you have a guilty pleasure too.
Oh, I know it. I know.
Oh. Or I could just simply go next door. I look at Judge Oakley's notes in the files and
Yeah.
his lines look so smooth.
So he's got, maybe he watched the lady on TikTok and he got the right pen for him.
See, I'm just not gonna talk to you anymore.
Oh, come on.
You have to stay on top of these things, Marianne. I hear names of social media platforms and I just shake my head on, like, I have no idea how this works.
So are you saying you need to stay on top of things? I mean, you need to stay on top of the pens that are out there?
Listen. See, it's too early in the morning for your nonsense, ma'am. No, the world changes and we either change with it and adapt
Oh, I know, I heard,
or get left behind.
someone was saying a new, I can't even think of it for the life of me, a new term that's out. I'm like, what is that? I don't even know what that word means. It sounds like somebody made a word up. Oh, no, it's a thing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Exactly. And if you're not around the movers and shakers and the hip people, how are
Yeah.
you gonna know what's new and exciting out there?
I gotta hang out with you more, I guess.
Listen, the radio's on in the car and I don't even recognize the songs, the name of the people, any of that. So I just turn to the news because at least then I know it's something might pique my interest, but no. And I didn't want to become that person, but I became that person.
It sneaks up on you.
I can't stand this racket. Get off my grass. Yeah. I'm glad I entertained you. 28. Oh. Hmm. You know, I look at on base as part of that staying on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're going to be paperless. We're going more digital. You have to go along with it. I'm trying. I just can't take, it's not that I can't. I won't take notes in the system while we're doing the cases. It's just, I'm not there yet. Good morning, Mr. Ambers.
Good morning to
As soon as Mr. Jadala comes out, I'll get your case called, okay?
Sorry for being in your courtroom today.
I'm sorry?
Sorry for being in your courtroom today.
You're sorry that you're here?
Yeah, I said I'm sorry. I apologize for being in your courtroom today.
Oh, Mr. Ambers, no problem. Listen, we'll work it out. We'll see each other under better circumstances next time.
Yeah, we were at the grocery store or something.
Exactly. This is 24RP017480M. This is City of Romulus versus Kelvin Ambers. May I have your appearances, please?
Correct for your honor, Sam Richardala, P 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Ambers.
State your name for me, sir.
Kelvin Ambers.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, respectfully, at this time, Mr. Ambers will be pleading as charged to one count of disorderly person. City attorney is recommending a fine only, and we join in that recommendation and ask for minimal fines.
Thank you. Sir, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, you're agreeing to plead as charged to being a disorderly person.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it true that on March 31st, 2024, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person by upsetting or interfering with business at the Shell station?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, your honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged to being a disorderly person, and as agreed to between the prosecutor and the defense attorney, the court will impose fines only. $100 fine. There's $100 in cost. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's $345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I need you to do one of three things for me, sir. I need you to either come in person to the court's collection department and set a payment plan. You may call the court, speak to a member of the court's collection staff, set a payment plan, or you can go onto the court's website. There is a contact us button. You click on that, it'll drop down. You can submit a request for a payment plan, but I need you to do one of those three things in the next 5 days, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. What was that fine amount again?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Fine amount.
$345 total.
Got it. Thank you, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. Ambers?
No, ma'am.
You're free to go, sir. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Were you expecting Ms. Maddox to come out?
No, your honor, it's a final pretrial. It's at 8:50. I know they like to wait at least 5-10 minutes to see if anybody appears. So she's here.
Thank you. So Mary Ann has jokes. Okay.
I'm scared now.
I was at the grocery store last night, ma'am.
You were not.
I was.
What happened? Was
Nothing
Kevin
happened. I have a
town?
fresh supply. There's a fresh supply of apples and grapefruits at our house. So yeah.
Hey, did you try grapefruit yet?
Did I try it?
Yeah, are they any good right now?
No,
Oh,
I don't eat grapefruits.
oh, okay.
That's his morning. That's his
That's his big.
everyday thing. Laughing at me. I don't know what's gotten into you today. I do know what's gotten into you today. You're excited about tomorrow.
It is. You read my mind.
I am. The prospect of 360, 379-year-olds. Yeah.
Strap your seatbelt on.
I prepare my nice little speech and introduction to the court and describing what's in the courtroom, and they ask questions I never even see coming. Dan was cracking. Mm-hmm. I don't either. I kept looking at it and I thought to myself,
Am I missing a page or two?
is this one of the ones we moved or something?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't know. But Marianne, the good thing is I can actually get some stuff signed.
Oh, yeah.
The judgments from yesterday that came in. Oh, it came in late in the day, but thank you, Mr. Orr. Have you been in to speak to the clerks to have your address and phone number verified? You're muted.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. Have you spoken to the clerks this morning?
No.
You should see a pop-up to go into a breakout room. They'll verify your phone number, your address, and then see if you want to speak to the court-appointed attorney or go into the prosecutor's office, okay? So please follow their directions.
Okay.
Thank you. This is 1533220M, City of Romulus versus LaShawn Young. May I have your names for the record, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of LaShawn Young. Ms. Young, can you state your name for the record, please? I think you froze, Ms. Young. Can you state your name for the record?
Ms. Young? Ma'am,
Yes,
There we go.
state your name for me, please.
LaShawn Young. I apologize. I couldn't hear you.
Thank you, sir. You're fine. Ma'am, you're fine. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, the prosecutor is moving to dismiss this matter.
Thank you. No objection, Mr. Batar.
No objection, Judge.
Ms. Young, your case is hereby dismissed. The bond that you posted will be refunded to you less any fees that you might owe the court, okay?
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ma'am, you're free to go. You have a great day.
You too. Yeah.
Thank you. This is 24RP017280M. This is City of Romulus versus Joseph Higgins. Your appearance.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Higgins, Your Honor. Mr. Higgins, can you state your name for the record, please?
Joseph Higgins.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Higgins is going to plead guilty to disorderly person. It will be under 771.1 for 6 months. And also as part of the terms, he will not have any contact with Quinte Brooks, who is also a defendant today, and also no contact with Jennifer Holmes. There is a stipulated fine of $100.
I'm sorry, the other person's name is?
Jennifer Holmes.
When you say stipulated fine, do you mean total cost in this case?
Judge, that would just be the $100 fine. We understand there's state court costs that also have to be added.
Thank you. Mr. Higgins, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you have
Yes,
the
ma'am.
opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Bitar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you will be pleading guilty? Hold on, I'm sorry.
You're all right. No problem.
Guilty as charged to trespassing.
Judge, it's disorderly person. It's an amendment to disorderly.
Disorderly. I'm sorry, Mr. Bitar. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Guilty to being a disorderly person.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Higgins, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Nope.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Huh?
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Higgins, is it true that on March 31st, 2024, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
I can't hear you now. Something just happened.
I said, is it true that on March 31st, 2024, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
Yes.
The court accepts your plea, sir, of being a disorderly person. As indicated by Mr. Bitar, this sentence is being delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay the court cost of $300, which is the stipulated fine plus the mandatory state costs. The matter will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Additional condition for this delayed sentence, sir, is that you have no contact with Quinte Brooks or Jennifer Holmes.
Yes.
You need more than 5 days to pay the $300, sir.
Yes, Judge. I need a payment plan, please.
And I need you to do
Hold
one
on.
of the.
And can you
one of
repeat
three
that amount of
things,
money?
Mr. Higgins,
What'd you just
I'm
say that
sorry?
amount of money was? I couldn't hear what you said the amount of money was. You said 500?
$300.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Bitar indicated that there was a $100 stipulated fine, but then there are mandatory costs that need to be added to this file.
Right. I'm sorry. I thought you said 500, ma'am. I apologize.
No, you're fine.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said, I need you to do one of three things in the next 5 days. I need you to call the court's collection department to set a payment plan, come in person to set a payment plan, or go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. You click on that, it'll drop down and you'll submit a request for a payment plan that way, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. No problem at all.
Any other questions, Mr. Higgins? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm fine. Nope. Thank you for everything.
No worries. You have a good day, sir. You're free to go.
You too, ma'am. You have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. These are 24RP01729 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus Brooks. Your appearances.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, could you say your name, please?
Quinte Brooks.
And Your Honor, respectfully, Mr. Brooks is a co-defendant with Mr. Higgins, and the pleas are gonna mirror. He's pleading to the same exact way, same exact conditions as Mr. Higgins to one count of disorderly, 6 months under 771.1 with the minimal fines and cost agreed, $100. And then, of course, there's going to be court costs, and he's going to need a payment plan also.
And what happens to the second, the threats?
It's being dismissed, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you will be entering a plea of guilty as charged of being a disorderly person?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand, sir, that if the court accepts the plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it true that on March 31st, 2024, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to being a disorderly person in the B file. The A file has been dismissed. Mr. Jadala has indicated that your sentence is to be identical or as close as possible to the case immediately preceding yours, which means it's delayed for a period of 6 months, so long as you incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan and pay the court cost totaling $300. The case will be administratively reviewed for dismissal. Mr. Jadala, is there the same no contact order regarding Mr. Higgins and Ms. Holmes?
Yes, Your Honor, there is, and I just wanted to let the court know that they are neighbors.
Oh,
Your Honor.
hold on. Miss Holmes is not his girlfriend. Miss Holmes is my fiance.
Yeah, so Ms. Holmes isn't a victim. It's Your Honor, Ms. Holmes. So the no contact would not be with Ms. Holmes. It would be just against the neighbor, the first name you said, Judge.
Against Joseph Higgins?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I just want to remind the court, Your Honor, that yes, we do agree to a no contact order. They are neighbors and they're going to do everything they can to stay out of each other's way. And I've advised Mr. Brooks that he needs to just seek police intervention if there is any contact.
Thank you. So no contact with Joseph Higgins. And then Mr. Brooks, are you able to pay the $300 within the next 5 days?
I'm gonna need a payment plan.
And then, sir, I'm going to have you do the 3 things I listed before. You can either come in person, speak to the collections department, set a payment plan. You can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. You click on that, it'll drop down. You can submit a payment plan. So come in person, call the collections department, or submit a request by email, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Brooks?
No, ma'am.
You're free to go, sir. You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, are you with Mr. Clark as well?
I am, Judge.
These are 210781OM and 21RP02423OT. These are both City of Romulus versus Antonio Clark. Your appearances, please.
And Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Riccadalla, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Antonio Clark, who appears on video with the MDOC. Mr. Clark, if you can unmute your device and say your name for the court. We need Mr. Clark to unmute, please, if possible. Here we go. Yes, Mr. Clark, can you say your name?
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Clark will be pleading guilty to 1 count of malicious use of phone. All other charges, threats, harassment, and false info to the police are all being dismissed pursuant to the plea.
Thank you. And before we get there, Mr. Jadala, both of these cases are in warrant status. The court is recalling those warrants. Mr. Clark, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty this morning to 1 count of malicious use of a telephone?
Yes.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yeah.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah, I already pled guilty by mail, so.
Understood. Sir, is it true that on September 7th, 2021, in the city of Romulus, that you did maliciously use a service provided by a communications common carrier with intent to threaten, frighten, terrorize, intimidate, harass, or annoy another person?
Mm-hmm.
You have to say the word, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to count 3, malicious use of a telecommunications device, and will dismiss counts 1 and 2 in the 210781 file, and then the 21RP02423 is dismissed outright and in its entirety. Mr. Jadala, anything before sentence is imposed in this matter?
We're gonna ask if the court would consider time served. Mr. Clark has been incarcerated with the MODC since November 2023. He doesn't have an out date until sometime mid to late 2026.
Thank you. Mr. Greco, do the people oppose credit for time served in the closing of this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, the court will give you credit for 30 days and close this file out in its entirety. Your matters are resolved with this court. Is there anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr.
Is all my
Jadala?
matters closed out?
Yes, sir. All I have are these 2 cases, unless you know something I don't know about 34th District Court.
No, okay. So I'm all set, everything's closed out.
In this court, yes, sir. I don't know if you have
All
something
right.
anywhere else.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, good luck to you, sir. These are 20RP06772 and 1950980OT. These are both City of Romulus versus LaShawn Moody. Your names for the record, please.
LaShawn Moody.
And Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Moody, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, as to the 19 case, my client will plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. And as to the assault and battery case from 2020, we're asking that the court set that for a final pretrial where the complainant must appear.
Thank you. Mr. Moody, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Batar this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding and agreement that you will be entering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the original charge of driving while license suspended would be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on December 7th, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Moody, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and will dismiss the original charge of driving while license suspended. The court will impose the following, sir. There's a $100 fine, there's $100 in costs, there's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, there's $50 mandatory state costs, $20 fund fee, $50 late fee, $45 clearance fee, $50 warrant fee, $15 administrative fee. That is, I believe, $505. The court is able to apply the bond that you posted in this matter, sir. Would you need more than 5 days to pay the balance?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, sir, I need you to do one of three things. You can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. You click on that button, it'll drop down. You can submit a request for a payment plan that way. Or you may call the court, speak to the collections department. Last but not least, you may come in person and set a payment plan. They can add this to your existing payment plan with the court. On the other file, sir, the 2020 case, even though the warrant had been canceled, Mr. Moody had not been arraigned. Mr. Batar?
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, we'll waive a formal reading. Stay on mute, please.
Thank you.
May 9th at 8:50, Judge.
Thank you.
You know, can
In
we
that
set it-
case, Mr. I'm
it-
sorry,
can
go
we
ahead,
set-
Mr. Greco.
Sure. Can we set it for the next date? Because it is a final pretrial. I need to make contact and send a letter to the victim. And so yeah.
Yep,
That's fine with me,
I
Judge.
just want to make sure they have time.
June 6th at 8:30.
That works.
June 6th at 8:30. Mr. Moody, in the interim, your bond is set at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court. Your next appearance date will be the final pretrial on June the 6th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Back here on Zoom with me in courtroom number 1. The complainant is to appear. I don't have the name of the alleged victim in this case, Mr. Greco.
Yeah, I'll
Do
be
you
able to
have that
figure it out, Your
information?
Honor. Yeah, I'll be able to figure it
Okay.
out and send the contact. Yep.
My hope was to put a no contact order in place, Mr. Moody, unless you have a reason to be in contact or communication with the other person involved in this case.
No, ma'am.
Is there anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Moody, you're free to go. I'll see you on June 6th, sir. They'll mail notice to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Did Mr. Mays need you again, Mr. Greco?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him right now.
Okay, as soon as you pop back out, I'll call Mr. Cooksey's case. This is 240274OD. This is City of Romulus versus Bobby Cooksey Jr. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And good morning, Your Honor. William Mays on behalf of Mr. Cooksey.
She got me out.
Mr. Cooksey, state your name for me, sir.
Bobby Cooksey Jr.
Thank you. Mr. Mays, how are we proceeding?
Judge, I'm going to file a motion to compel discovery on this. Mr. Greco and I have discussed it. If you could give me like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, I'd appreciate it. And then time for him to respond.
3 to 4 weeks to get it filed?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't know you were waiting for me. Yep, June 6th.
Oh,
I'm sorry, June 6th at 8:30.
Is that enough time, Mr. Mays?
Yeah, that'll, let me just double check that date.
Either date is fine with me, Your Honor. I'm going to go over to my meeting room for a moment. That's
Okay.
fine.
That'll work, but I do have you don't want to argue at that date. That's the cutoff, right? Because I do have a jury trial on that day.
So the answer is no. Mary Ann, what's the next day after that?
It's June 20th at 8:30.
June 20th at 8:30 for your motion / adjourn pretrial.
That will work.
I'll see you then. Mr. Cooksey, I'll see you on June the 20th, sir. Have a good afternoon. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a good
Judge.
day.
Sir, take that hood off for me, please. 2401350M, City of Romulus versus Aaliyah Norris. Your names for the record.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Ridgedolla, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Norris. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for a final pretrial. I did see and confirm with Mr. Greco that the alleged victim in this matter, Mr. Orr, did arrive today. At this time, Mrs. Norris is going to invoke her right to a jury trial, which respectfully request this court schedule a jury trial in this matter.
Ma'am, turn your video on, unmute yourself and state your name for the record.
Aaliyah Norris.
Thank you.
Mr. Jadala, if we want to pull Ms. Maddox, I don't have a victim and it's been over a half hour.
Perfect. I'll pull her out now and we can do that.
I'm looking at the week of June the 26th, maybe, Mary Ann?
Yeah, let me see.
Thank you.
Wait, did you say June 26th?
Yes.
Um,
I'm looking at maybe June the 24th or June the 28th.
28th, you already have a jury trial.
Really? That's not a good sign.
And Your Honor, if there are no other dates on the 24th, I'm House Counsel for Magistrate Hinman. But if that's the only date you have, and I'm not available the 28th anyway, but if that's
Are
the only
you-
date that you have,
I'm sorry, no. I'm cutting you off because I can only do it on our felony weeks.
Okay.
So then I'm looking at the week before, the week of the 17th of June.
June 21st, you're open.
And I have jury trials in the 22nd District Court. The only day that I have open there is the 18th, Your Honor. I could switch. I'm doing in custodies that day. I could switch with somebody to do the jury trials on the 18th, on June 18th, if that's good with the court.
Are you available on the 18th, Mr. Greco? Oh, no. Why do I think you're somewhere else on that on Tuesdays?
I am somewhere else on Tuesdays generally. What case is this for? I'm sorry, I was looking at something else.
Aaliyah Norris.
Okay, we're setting is it a jury trial date we're setting?
Yes, sir.
So what was the Tuesday?
We're looking, Mr. Jadala wasn't available on the 24th of June, so we were looking at the 18th of June.
And that's a Tuesday, so if he's not available, Your Honor.
Yeah, I am not available on the 18th, definitely.
Okay. Gentlemen, we need to set a date, but I'll check with Judge Oakley or Judge Green to see if I can use one of their felony weeks. So we'll be in communication with each other.
Perfect.
And Mr. Jadala can relay it to
Ms. Norris.
Ms. Norris. And we'll set deadlines for the deadline for the plea will be 3 weeks before, if any, then there'll be witness exhibit and proposed jury instructions list due 3 weeks before the trial, because that's the time that the court needs to summon the jurors. But Mary Ann will reach out to both of you before the end of the day with some possible dates, and we'll coordinate it and get it over to Ms. Norris.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Norris, you're free to go. Mr. Jadala will be in touch with you regarding that jury trial date.
All right.
These are 20R019816 and 220131. These are both City of Romulus versus Christina Maddox. May I have your appearances?
Yes, Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Maddox. Ms. Maddox, please say your name for the record.
No, something's going on my camera.
You just say your name, Ms. Maddox?
Christina Maddox.
Maddox.
Christina
Thank you.
Maddox.
Today's the day and time
Sorry,
scheduled for the final pretrial on this You're fine, ma'am. The final pretrial is scheduled at 8:50. It's now 9:29 by the sports clock. How are we proceeding, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, at this time, we'll make a motion to dismiss. I believe Mr. Greco will acknowledge that the complaining witness has failed to appear at today's final pretrial.
That's correct, Your Honor. No objection to the relief requested.
Complainant having failed to appear, this case is hereby dismissed on defense motion. Ms. Maddox, both of these cases have been dismissed, ma'am. You're free to go. You have a great day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. This is 1643910T. This is City of Romulus versus Eric Snyder. State your names for the record, please.
Eric Wayne Snyder.
Morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Snyder.
Today is the day and time scheduled for the for the pretrial in this matter. This case is in warrant status and has been in warrant status since 2016. Mr. Bitar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we would ask you to set aside the warrant and we have a resolution.
Warrant is recalled. What is that resolution, sir?
My client will plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. May I put your hand down? Sir, you had the opportunity to discuss this case with Mr. Bitar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be pleading guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the original charge of driving while license suspended will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it true that on October 17, 2016, in the city of Romulus, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to that added count and will dismiss the original count of driving while license suspended. Mr. Bitar, is there anything before fines and costs are imposed in this matter?
Judge, I would just let you know that Mr. Snyder is very happy to resolve this matter today. He'll be able to get his license once it is resolved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder, the court is assessing minimal fines and costs in this matter. It's a $100 fine. There's $100 in cost. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, $50 bench warrant fee, and $50 late fee. That's $445. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, ma'am.
5 days to pay, and that will resolve this case. Is there anything else, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Snyder, you're free to go. Good luck to you, sir. You have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so very much.
You're so welcome, sir. This is 24RP007610M. This is City of Romulus versus Daryl James.
James?
Mr. James, I'm sorry. Unmute yourself. Turn your video on for me, please.
Mr. James, you need to unmute yourself and turn your video on, please. Judge, I am standing in for Mr. Hadley on Lee. Maybe we could pass the James matter and do the Lee matter.
Thank you. I was gonna suggest that. Mr. Lee, thank you. This is 2409440D. This is Dwayne Lee versus, I'm sorry, City of Romulus versus Dwayne Lee. Good grief. State your names for the record, please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, standing in for the attorney of record, Josh Hadley, for Mr. Dwayne Lee. Mr. Lee, say your name, please.
Dwayne Lee.
Your Honor, at this time,
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Your Honor, at this time, we're asking for an adjourned pretrial. Mr. Hadley still needs to get some discovery from Mr. Greco.
Mr. Jadala, my only concern is that this case was adjourned previously for the arraignment. Can we at least do the arraignment and we'll reset the pretrial?
Absolutely, Your Honor. We'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Respectfully request a pretrial in this matter.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, the court is setting bond in this case at $5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until the case is resolved in its entirety, because the allegations in this case are that you were operating a motor vehicle while you were under the influence of alcohol. Condition of your bond is that you not purchase, possess, consume any alcoholic beverages during the pendency of this case or until further order of the court. The pretrial in this matter is being adjourned to
May 9th at 9 o'clock.
May 9th
Yes.
at 9 a.m. Back here with me on Zoom in courtroom number 1. Mr. Lee, court staff will mail notice to you at the address you verified this morning. Is there anything else in this case, Mr. Jadala?
Any further, Judge? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, you're free to go. You have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Mr. James, are you all set now?
Yes.
State your name for me in 24RP00761.
Daryl James.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala.
Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala appearing on behalf of Mr. James. At this time, Your Honor, we're going to respectfully request final pretrial in this matter where all witnesses must appear.
That final pretrial date will be,
May 9th at 9:10.
I think Mr. Greco was asking for more time so you can get notices out, or is that just for the older case, Mr. Jadala?
I think that was just for the older case, Judge.
Okay, May 9th, I'm sorry, Mary Ann, at
9:10.
thank you, 9:10. Mr. James, your case is being adjourned till next week, May 9th at 9:10 a.m. That's back here with me on Zoom in courtroom number 1. Is there anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. James, you're free to go. You can just exit out of that door to your left. Court staff will come reset that computer.
Thank you, and thank you both.
You have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning. I was originally on Ferran, but looks like another attorney is handling it now. He's filed an appearance, so just making sure the court is aware it didn't need me.
What, the client's name, sir?
Jason Ferran.
Jason Bryan?
Ferran, Farran, or maybe
Oh.
Hassan Ferran.
Oh, yeah, that's, hold on one second. Why is that file gone? Oh, misplaced. Okay. That's what it was. You weren't here on the 18th. We have since received an appearance from Mr. Zelenak. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 191888 OM, City of Romulus versus Matthew Meadows. Your appearances, please.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Meadows. Mr. Meadows, can you say your name for the record, please?
Matthew Meadows.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding with this pretrial?
Your Honor, Mr. Meadows is going to plead guilty to the malicious destruction of property.
Mr. Meadows, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down, sir. You have the opportunity to discuss this matter with Mr. Batar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, I do.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding and agreement you'll be pleading guilty as charged to malicious destruction of property.
Yes.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
You understand that?
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on March the 6th, 2019, in the city of Romulus, you committed the act of malicious destruction of property?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Bitar?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged in malicious destruction of property. Mr. Bitar, was there anything before fines and costs are imposed in this matter?
Judge, I'd ask you to consider just giving him credit for time served. He's been locked up in the Wayne County Jail since March 16th. It's an older case from 2019.
Respectfully, Mr. Bitar, the court will deny your request. The court will note that this case was arraigned back in August 19th of 2019, and Mr. Meadows has been in and out of warrant status with this court for the entirety of this almost 5 years now. That being the case, so the court will impose only minimal fines and costs.
Understood, Your Honor. Mr. Meadows, how
Thank
much
you.
more time do you have in the Wayne County Jail?
What is it?
How much more time do you have in the Wayne County Jail?
I got court on the 8th.
Judge, I have no issue with what you ruled. However, I would just let you know that if he's going to be locked up, there could be an issue with respect to paying those fines and costs. Can you get some time?
You know, Mr. Bitar will reconsider based again on the fact that the case is as old as it is, and the indication from Mr. Greco is that he has made efforts to be in contact or communication with the victim without response.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Meadows, the court will impose credit for time served and close this file out.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, Mr. Bitar?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Meadows, you're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. All the best to you and your staff.
You too, sir. These are 20RP06114A and 20RP06724A. These are both City of Romulus versus Deontay Knight. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight, please say your name.
Yes, Deontay Knight.
The court will recall the warrants in both of these matters. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding with these arraignment and pretrials?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. For purposes of pretrial, Mr. Knight will be pleading to one count of driving while license suspended. The other count will be dismissed, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to discuss this case this morning with Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, it's your understanding and agreement that you'll be pleading guilty to one count of driving while license suspended.
Yes.
You understand, sir, that if the court accepts the plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecution.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sir, you haven't been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Knight, is it true that on September the 25th, 2020, in the city of Romulus, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, I did drive with suspended license.
Thank you, sir. The court accepts your plea of guilty to driving while license suspended in the case that ends in 6114A and will dismiss the case that ends in 6724A. Mr. Jadala, was there anything you wanted to say before fines and costs are imposed in this matter?
Your Honor, we just asked for minimal fines and costs. He lets me know that earlier this week, he did start a payment plan with the court. And we asked any fines and costs be rolled into that payment plan.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, the court will impose the following. There is a fine of $300. There's cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 warrant fee, $50 in mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, $50 late fee, and $45 clearance fee. That's a total of $690. Sir, you still need to contact the court's collection department. I don't have a note that Mr. Knight has started payment plans, Mr. Jadala. Not saying it didn't happen, but it's just not attached to this file. And Mr. Knight, when you contact the collections department, let them know that you're requesting to add this $690 to whatever existing payment plan you have.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Ann, are you there?
Yes, I am, Dave.
So I saw a defendant by the name of Daryl James
Yes.
earlier,
Yep.
but I don't know what happened.
Let's see here.
That's my case, Mr. James. We set for a final pretrial and they gave us a date, Dave.
Okay.
5/9 at 9:10 for final pretrial. Witnesses have to appear.
5/9 at what time?
9:10 in the morning.
All right.
Thanks, Sammer.
Oh, no problem.
These are 2402-680M and 2402-800M. These are both City of Romulus versus Marquel Gaines. Mr. Gaines, turn your video on, unmute yourself and state your name for me, please.
Marquel Gaines.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Gaines.
And Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Jadala?
Your Honor, today's the date and time set for a final pretrial. I've confirmed with the city attorney, Mr. Greco, that witnesses have failed to appear. We'd be respectfully requesting a dismissal in these matters.
Your Honor, no objection. I have spoken with the victim months ago, but they have not appeared, and I did send notice of the court date today with the specifics on what to do.
Thank you. This final pretrial having been scheduled at 9:20 a.m., it now being 9:53 by this court's clock, complainant having failed to appear. This case is hereby dismissed. Is there anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gaines, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's a, I used to use Zoom thing. What am I saying?
These are 24RP02038A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Grace Badeo. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Dave Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Grace Badejo, Your Honor. Ms. Badejo, can you state your name for the record, please?
Grace Badejo, GRACE Badejo.
Thank you. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding with these arraignment free trials?
Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we'll waive a formal reading, stand mute, and we're asking for a pretrial at a later date. Mr. Greco is going to get me a police report.
Thank you. Ms. Badeo, in the interim, your bond in these cases are set at $3,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by this court until these cases are resolved in its entirety. That pretrial date will be,
Mr. Greco, is May 9th too early, or should we go to June 6th?
Let's go to June 6th, because I gotta get this stuff, yeah.
Okay, June 6th at 9:10.
June 6th at
10.
9:10 a.m. Ma'am, your case is being adjourned to June the 6th at 9:10 a.m. Notice will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff this morning. Is there anything else, Mr. Batar?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Can you read that over for me, please? I am so sorry, Your Honor. Can you read it over for me so I can really
June the
understand?
6th, June the 6th at 9:10 a.m. And the court staff will mail you notice.
Yeah, the first part, I didn't catch it. I am so sorry.
I don't know what the first part will be for you.
The first statement that you read.
I don't know, ma'am.
Are you referring
Is
to
it the
her?
bond part?
Yes, I think so, the bond part.
Oh, the bond is 3,000 personal. You don't need to post any money. You just need to keep showing up to court until
And
the
what
case
is-
is resolved.
What is the 3,000 for? I'm not getting that.
I don't, what aren't you getting, ma'am?
What does that mean? The 3,000, what does that mean?
You don't, ma'am. I'm saying you don't need to post any money.
Okay,
You just need to keep showing up to court until the case is resolved.
okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Mr. Larkin, you're free to go, ma'am. You have a good day. Mr. Larkin, are you looking for Mr. Zelenak?
Yes.
He might be upstairs unless the court officer told you something different.
I actually talked to him about 15 minutes ago. He told me that he would be here more like a quarter till. That's why.
So according to what, sir?
10.
It's already
10.
10 o'clock. What I'm saying to you, have you talked to one of the court officers right there?
Yes.
And they tell you that Mr. Zelenak's not here yet?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So if you would just mute yourself when he gets here, he'll probably ask if you can come into the courtroom. I'm just upstairs and the court officers will let you in when he arrives.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I'll call Mr. Zelenak to see where he is at, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Larkin, you don't need to stay on your phone. Mr. Zelenak usually comes in person and you'll be in the courtroom at some point.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So I can go off this Zoom?
Yes, sir. Just don't leave the building.
Yes, ma'am. Got you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Informed by whom?
Marlisa?
Thank you. Have you let Dave know?
No, oh, that's a good idea. Mr. Greco?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, are you on the
This
phone?
is,
No, I'm good.
this is 21 RP 021220OM. This is City of Romulus versus Andrew Golden. The court has been advised that the defendant, Mr. Golden, is unavailable. Court will adjourn this matter over. The new date will be
June 6th at 9:10.
Thank you, ma'am. So I wonder if it's Mr. Greco's not available any Tuesdays. I'm thinking about Norris.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Um,
I was just thinking, does it have to be our felony week? Cause it's not a state, I mean,
That's what I thought we internally had agreed to, so that we would not schedule multiple jury trials in the same week because of
Okay.
our spacing.
got it.
But I was going to check with Judges Green and Oakley to see if we could just do it maybe that week. I'm looking at maybe the 10th or the 12th, and just moving our second hearings to another day.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking out loud. Shoot. Carol's sitting downstairs listening like, what are you talking about?
Nope, I just got here.
Trying to set a jury trial. Mr. Batar?
Judge, doesn't look like there's anything left. I don't see anybody else waiting.
I don't either, and the last thing that we had was scheduled at 9:30, and we've already completed the 9:30 docket. How is that possible? Oh.
Must be some great lawyers, prosecutors, and judges. I don't know.
Very efficient.
And a great clerk too. Forgot about the clerk. I want to leave the clerk.
100%.
I think you're right, Mr. Batar. Thank you. Why is Mr. Bowditch here waiting for you, Mr. Greco?
He's not necessarily waiting for me. That's where he goes to hang out, in my waiting room.
Listen, I saw Mr. Batar and Mr. Jadala in the breakout room. I wanted to go in there so bad I couldn't help myself.
I know, well, you're right. With the two of them in there, I felt left out, no doubt.
Everyone have a good day. I'll see you next time.
You
Take
too.
care,
Take
Dan.
care, sir.
All right, take care.
And Mr. Bowditch sees the waiting room as it's where he hangs out last couple of times.
Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Jadala's hanging out too.
Yeah, we don't
Marianne,
have
who-
anything, you know.
Oh,
The only thing we have are Mr. Zelenak's cases, Moran and Larkin. And those are not
Mr.
going to.
Jadala, what does your June 12th look like? And Marianne, whose week is that? See, I mean, I don't think that they necessarily care. I just want to make sure that we're not stepping on. Oh, no. Why am I thinking about doing a jury trial on a Wednesday? Have I? No. Let's fix that.
Let's do our
Hold on.
Flag Day. Flag Day is free for me, Judge.
Yeah, but it's Wednesday in this building. And I don't know that I would add another layer of folks.
Yeah, no, I meant Flag Days on the 14th, on Friday, the 14th of June.
No, I thought I said Wednesday, the 12th. I'm sorry.
Okay. No problem. No,
But
Wednesday.
then I said I don't want to do a jury trial on a felony day.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at June the 10th. Is that probation?
I don't have that. You have arraignments. Right now you don't have anything on June 10th. But I can call down to Anthony and see if he's got anything scheduled yet.
Well, Carol's on, and Carol, am I wrong? I thought the agreement was, or at least the loose understanding is that we schedule our jury trials on our felony weeks.
I am not privy to that information. I just put
Oh,
them
then
where
I'm
you
just-
guys tell me.
I'm just making up rules then, so let's look at if.
Can I
is
make
that
up a
dated the
rule?
day? Yes.
Don't set them on a holiday Friday anymore.
I did it and I didn't think about it until I looked at what it really looked like. And I just shook my head and I wanted to fix it. And I think a motion will fix it.
All right.
I'll have Mary Ann follow up with them because that didn't, yeah, I think that was them frustrated. Have you sent out those summons?
I did yesterday.
Okay, I'm sorry. June 10th, Mr. Jadala.
Your Honor, yeah, I'm House Counsel for the magistrate that day, June 10th, but I'll just call MIDC to try to find coverage so we can do the jury trial.
Mr. Greco.
All right, I'm looking. Sorry, I'm
Oh, that's okay.
multitasking. Okay. Yeah, wait, I'm talking with Judge Martin right now. He said. So, 1 second, Andrew. So, Judge, you guys are saying June 10th for the jury trial?
Yes.
Yeah, June 10th, I'm available. I have a parental responsibility docket that day, but that's fine. Between, I should be able to get some assistance. Yeah.
So we're talking, I need to talk to the other judges to make sure that that's not a bad day for either of them. This is 2401350M. This is Romulus versus Norris. We're talking about a June 10th jury trial at 9 a.m. And typically I say 3 weeks before, but let's say 2 weeks before. Witness, exhibit, and proposed jury instructions are due 2 weeks-ish.
Okay.
It can either be the 23rd before the holiday or the 28th after the holiday. Do you have a preference, Mr. Jadala?
28th, is that cool with you?
Totally fine with me.
Everything due that day, May 28th. If anything else comes up, you know how to get a hold of Mary Ann. June 10th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Judge, I'm on the phone with my partner, Angela, right now, who's in the building as well with Mr. Zelenak. So I think I'm going to talk to her and through Mr. Zelenak to fill out a plea on what we're
Okay.
gonna do. But both of these
Then
cases
I'm gonna
are,
step out in the hallway while you do that.
yeah, and both of these cases are not going to be resolved today. I know we're going to need a final pretrial on both to work out some pleas. So,
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
thank you. I'm going to sign off. Hey, Mary Ann?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm signing off. Angela has what I'm doing or what we intend to do with Mr. Zelenak's 2 clients to fill out a form and put it on the record. And we're just setting these for final pre-trials, but no like witnesses or complaining witnesses being required to appear.
Okay, so should we do that June 6th date?
Yeah, do the June 6th date because there's some stuff I have to do on both of them to resolve them.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right, thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
You too, take care. Bye.
Thanks.
I know, but then don't show your situation shit. I don't want to see all. No.
Just without damaging your record here by disclosing my transparent statement. That's how it is. Send them a video. I don't want Judge, you know, I live right here, like me, I close school, and I have a Bureau of Prisons officer there on practice. So he wanted me to put on a show for kids. That's why I'm like,
That's what took the long time.
it did, yes.
Yeah,
And then I turned on Northline instead of staying on Wayne Road.
Ask me.
She calls. This is Mr. Larkin.
I know, he and I have already spoken. We've had a wonderful morning together.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm embarrassed with Sam Salome, and he's talking to me. I said, everybody's chatty today. I know that I'm chatty all the time. My brother's chatty, he's talking. Trying to get him back to me. He's gonna retire in 4 years.
Is he really?
Yeah, so he might come back.
He was so entertaining.
I know.
I used to love covering that court. I did all the downriver stuff because I lived in Taylor.
Do you know that my brother, when he was in the band years ago, and when I was in radio, he was the producer at his nighttime talk show. He would leave there and drive up to law school every night, come back. He was really a funny guy. Then all of a sudden, he got like really serious with the band. I don't know what happened.
And you see, this right here is why I don't keep that door open. It's like stray cats roaming into. No, because Mr. Larkin thinks we're being funny and this is really serious business. So let's 230956OD. This is City of Romulus versus James Larkin. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mannering on behalf of the people.
Good morning, we're telling it.
Good morning. How are you? Mr. Zelenak, what are we doing this morning?
I understand there's been a discussion of a plea with special circumstances, and Mr. Greco said he's almost there, so we need another date.
Your Honor, yes, we would ask the court to set it for a final pretrial. We don't need any of the witnesses or the officers to appear about.
June 6th, judge at 9:30.
June 6th at 9.
June 6th at 9:30.
Very well.
Back here in number, yep, back here in number 1 on Zoom with me, Mr. Larkin. I know that Mr. Zelenak likes to appear in person. Although I say Zoom, my door is open. I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. If you want to come in person, knock yourself out. Other than that, I'll see you on June 6th. Have a good day.
Yep. Fair enough.
Karen might be still sitting there.
This is 2402700OM. This is City of Romulus versus Ferend. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Mandarin on behalf of the people.
Edward Zelenak for the defendant. Mr. Farron was on Zoom and I told him to stand by. He's in Washington DC. And I had him disconnect because he told me an hour ago he was on Zoom. Clearly I'm way late, Judge. I apologize for being late.
I don't recall seeing him this morning,
Oh, no,
but that's,
I'm sorry, he said he's standing by.
I was gonna say that's more of an aside than anything else. He's represented, he was here. You were here. Mr. Davis did appear this morning just to confirm that this court had received your substitution of attorney or your appearance in this matter, allowing him to withdraw from the case. Ms. Manarino, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we are also asking to have this matter set for a final pretrial without the witnesses or officers.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm texting him because he is texting me, so I know that he's within touch.
No worries. June the 6th at
the same time, Judge, 9:30.
At 9:30 a.m. No witnesses or officers necessary.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Manarino?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Zelenik?
Yes, Your Honor. May he have permission to leave the state solely for the purpose of work with proof provided thereof?
Defendant may travel for work. Here he is right now. Mr. Ferran?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Mr. Zelenik is here in the courtroom. We've adjourned this case for final pretrial June 6th at 9:30 a.m. back here with me in courtroom number 1. We've amended your bond to indicate that you may travel for work.
Thank you, ma'am.
A notice of that new date will be mailed to you at the address you verified with court staff before. If there's nothing else, Mr. Zelenik?
No, Judge, it's a pleasure being here again. Thank you.
Good to see you. Sir, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Judge, sorry for the humor, the loquacious attempt, fatal attempts, but
All is well.
just want to let you know, Judge, just in case things change in life in November, I'm rewriting the music for Hail to the Chief to the terms of the defendant case files.
What's happening in November?
I'm just writing Hail to the Chief.
I think that I take no position on partisan politics.
That's a smart job.
And November to me is just Turkey Day and shopping, right, Ms. Zelenik?
Yes.
Everyone have a good day. Thank you. My pleasure. This is 24RP017240M. This is City of Romulus versus Ismael Olivo. This case was scheduled at 8:30 for an arraignment pretrial. It is now 10:21 by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, this matter will be set for show cause. These are 24RP01720 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Damone Smith. These cases were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pretrial at 8:30 a.m. It's now 10:21 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A and B files, which are misdemeanors, will be set for show cause. The C file, civil infraction, will be deemed in default. These are 22RP 03558OM, 220176OM, and 220468OM. These are all City of Romulus versus Valentin Faru. These cases were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 8:50 a.m. It's now 10:23 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear as directed by the court. The case is in warrant status and will stay that way. The cases are all in warrant status and will stay that way. These are 24RP 02063 A, B, and C. These are City of Romulus versus Amanda Brown. These cases were scheduled for 9:10 a.m. It's now 10:24 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A and C file civil infractions will be deemed in default. The B file will be set for show cause. These are 182406 OM and 1736520 T. These are both City of Romulus versus Philip Jones. These cases were scheduled at 9:10 a.m. It's now 10:26 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. These files are both in warrant status and will stay that way. This is 21RP 03305 OM. This is City of Romulus versus Sarah Butcher. This case was scheduled at 9 a.m. It's now 10:27 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear as directed, this case already being in warrant status, it will stay that way. Mary Ann, that concludes our docket for the day. We stand